Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Maitri and today I am doing the mid-year book freakout tag. This is my first time doing this tag, and from what I have seen other booktubers do, there are a bunch of questions that you have to answer based on all the books that you have read till now. That is the first half of the year, and I don't know how many questions there are. I just will go right into it, see what kind of questions there are and give you the answers as we go about it. But first, some stats about how many books I have read. So I have only read about 17 books this year. There have been other books because I have DNF'd a lot of books. I am a very frequent DNFer. If I'm not enjoying a book, I quickly DNF it. So I have picked more than 17 books, but I have only finished 17 books, so there are a lot of DNFs. Maybe we will get questions based on that, so let's see. I'm very excited to do this tag, and without any further ado, let's get right into it. So this is my phone and I have got a bunch of questions right here, and these are by Twirling Book Princess, and let's just jump right into it. So the first question is, what is the best book you have read so far in 2022? Okay, so I don't have all my books over here. Some of the books are kept somewhere else, and not all the books I read were paperbacks. Some of them were ebooks, some were audiobooks. But the best book that I have read this year is definitely It Ends With Us. Should I just take it out? It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I finished reading it just a week ago, and oh my god, the amount of pages that I have underlined in this book. Let me show you. I have underlined and highlighted so much. I don't think it's visible, but I am in love with this book. I cannot tell you what this book means to me, the whole story. My heart cried for the characters, and this instantly became my favorite book of all time. I love this book. Moving on to the next question. The next question is, what is the best sequel you have read so far in 2022? I think the best sequel that I have read is definitely going to be the sequels to The Hunger Games, that is Catching Fire and Mockingjay. I cannot choose one among them, but both of them have been the best sequels that I've read this year. What is a new release that you haven't read but you want to? Okay, I really want to read Book Lovers by Emily Henry because I loved Peach Read by her. I have People We Meet on Vacation by her, which I haven't read yet, so I am very excited to read both of them. Book Lovers by Emily Henry and People We Meet on Vacation, which is not a new release, but you know. What is your most anticipated release for the second half of the year? After reading It Ends With Us, it starts with us, which is in Atlas's point of view, I think, and I'm so excited for it. I cannot wait for October. What was your biggest disappointing book so far? Okay, I really regret not having all my books here because the biggest disappointment was The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. Lauren Asher, that's the author's name, right? But I really had high hopes for that book and I was enjoying it, but it felt like a very Wattpaddy story, and that's not even a problem, but I have already explained in another video of mine why I DNF'd it when I did. I actually DNF'd it at 30%, and it was because I had some issues with the character, specifically Zahra, and I have explained in the video where I posted that I gave it 1 star why I had the problem that I had. So it didn't live up to the hype. I really wanted to enjoy it, and maybe I will give it another chance because of all the love that I see for this book. But yeah, I'm really excited to read Terms and Conditions still, and I hope that it's a good one. What was your biggest surprising book so far? Biggest surprising book, I will say that it was Hopeless by Colleen Hoover, because of the fact that I tried reading it 2 times before I finally read it this time, and for some reason I was just not getting into the story because I didn't really care about the characters in the first 10% of the book, and I usually used to just DNF it at that point. But this year I finally read it. It destroyed me. It destroyed me like anything, and it was a 4 or 4.5 star. But oh my god, I loved it so much, and it's so worth it, and I'm happy I read it. So yeah, that was my biggest surprise. Who is your favorite new author? Debut or new to you? So I read 3 Colleen Hoover books this year, and she has become my go-to author, so much so that I am just looking forward to buy all of her books so that I can read all of them. So yeah, I read Colleen Hoover for the first time this year, and she instantly became my favorite author of all time. Who is your new fictional crush? There are many, but if I have to point one, I would say Jonah Fletcher from Full Tilt. I loved his character, I loved him, I loved the story. This was such an underrated book, and I think everyone should read the Full Tilt to It by Emma Scott. The first book is called Full Tilt, and the second one is called All In. Almost nobody had heard about this book, and both the books were total 5 stars for me, and you have to read it. Such a good story, dual point of view, amazing. So I would say that my new fictional crush is definitely Jonah Fletcher, but also Garrett Graham, because I read Off Campus this year, and that definitely took over my life. I loved the book series, I loved all the 4 boys, but especially Garrett Graham. So yes, he is also my new favorite fictional crush. But now that I'm at it, even Peeta Mellark is a new fictional crush. I mean, you get them with every new book, and I cannot choose one of them. Who is your newest favorite character? I would say that one of my newest fictional character is from the book that I am currently reading, and that is Shadow and Bone. And I really love the character of, I'm just looking at my books, but anyway, I really love the character of Alina. She is so funny, so sassy. I am just giggling and laughing. I really love the character of Alina, and I think she's my newest favorite character. What books made you cry? I have not cried in a lot of books this year. I mean, internally I have, but the book that made me cry this year has to be November 9. I lost it at that book. I mean, Colleen Hoover's climax are just something else. It was so heartbreaking. If you have read the book, and when Ben is talking about his mother in the climax, that's the point that I cried. It was so painful, but this book was so beautiful again, and it's one of my all-time favorites. What is one book that made you happy? I think one book that made me happy has to be, I think it has to be All In, which is from the Full Tilt Do It by Emma Scott. Make no mistake, it is a very heartbreaking book. I mean, it's a very cry-worthy book, but the reason that I will say that it made me happy is because the theme of the book is very hopeful. It is about finding love when you had lost all hope of finding it. It's about being born again, starting to live again, starting to laugh again, love again. And I think the whole theme of this book was really conveyed very well, and it made my heart happy and hopeful. So that's why I'll say that All In by Emma Scott is a book that made me happy. What is the most beautiful book you have bought or received so far this year? Now I regret not having all my books, because which is the most beautiful book? I think the covers of The Shadow and Bone books are really good. I love It Ends With Us, Reminders of Him, Red, White and Royal Blue. All of these books I have got this year and I really love them, so I think they are very beautiful. But if you talk in terms of cover, then I think Shadow and Bone books are the covers that are most beautiful. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? Oh my god, my whole TBR. I have bought so many books and then I don't read it. I mean, the point that I'm buying them is because I want to read them so bad that I'm buying them. And then I just keep them away and buy more books. I don't know what am I doing, but all of my physical TBR, I need to finish it. And if there are some books that I need to compulsory read, then it is People We Meet on Vacation, Book Lovers, Reminders of Him, It Starts With Us, which will release later, Shadow and Bone, which I'm currently reading, then Six of Crows, so many more. I'll just keep on taking names because there are so many books that I need to read by the end of the year. Okay, that was it. That was very quick, and I think the last question was kept this way so that we can keep talking and talking about all the books we need to read. But yes, I am done with the mid-year book freakout tag. My books are all over the place, but it's all right. I had so much fun doing this tag, and this is my first time doing this tag, and I was so excited, so happy that I finally did it. All my social medias are linked down below along with my Amazon wish list, and see you soon with another video. Until then, take care, stay safe, and lots of love.